Thanks to a surge of mail-in ballots across the country, many experts have always said that it could take days or even weeks to call this election.
The process has not changed. What changed was the number and volume of mail-in ballots.
Dr. Juan Gilbert is a professor at the University of Florida who studies and builds voting technology. He says he's witnessed some close races to the White House, but this one is perhaps most reminiscent of the 2000 Bush-Gore election, which resulted in a historic recount in Florida.
Florida 2000 is probably the most close example in that we didn't have a decision. And the difference, though, I will say this, the main difference, at least to this point, Lexi, the courts are not involved. So if you recall in 2000, the courts got involved. And so far, that's not the case.
And though the courts are not yet involved in this 2020 election, Dr. Gilbert says a recount is not outside the realm of possibilities in the days to come, especially considering crucial swing states like Michigan must conduct an automatic recount if the margin of victory is particularly slim.
Some states have, if the margin of victory is within a certain margin, they have to automatically do a recount. So if that is the case, that's going to lengthen this thing out in some states.
Chuck Littman knows perhaps better than anyone how a recount could prolong things. He worked for the Gore campaign in the year 2000 and was in charge of the recount in Broward County. And though he acknowledges that there are some similarities between that election and the one we're currently witnessing, to him, this presidential election feels decidedly different.
It was a hard-fought election, but it wasn't like there was an animosity.
And of course, another key difference here is that Florida is not the one in this national hot seat right now. I mean, you must remember what that was like, the pressure to deliver results in Florida.
Yeah, it was super intense.
For weeks, Chuck went back and forth poring over individual ballots, looking for hanging chads and questioning voter intent. But he says that this time around, thanks to new technology, the process shouldn't be so onerous if states are forced into a recount.
With the new equipment, it shouldn't take that long because in 2000, we had these punch card ballots and you had to pull all the punch card ballots and you had to assess them one by one by one by one.
And though Chuck says he's personally disappointed in the way the electorate voted in Florida, he says he's relieved that 20 years later, there was a clean election in the Sunshine State.
I take a lot of pride and pleasure that the election went very smoothly.
For CBS 12 News, I'm Lexi Nall.